This may not be ready. Been called speed and order. First item on the agenda is roll call.
Alderman Arnold.
Here.
Alderman West.
Here.
Alderman Hadley.
Here.
Alderman Kelly.
Here.
Alderman Schaper.
Here.
Alderman Sutton.
Here.
Next on be invocation led by Pastor David Hutchinson from Faith United Methodist Church, followed by Pledge of Allegiance from Alderman Headley.
We bow your head. Mighty gracious God, we give you thanks for the season that is upon us. It is indeed a time for Thanksgiving, and we as a city and we as a people in the United States of America would do well to remember the many abundant blessings that we have as your children and as part of this great country and city. We ask these things in the name of Jesus the Christ. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, next up is the approval of the agenda.
Mr. Mayor, members of the board, I would like to request that we add a presentation by Krista Claus on social media usage by elected officials.
That's the only addition.
That's the only change, sir.
Okay. I entertain a motion then to amend the agenda to add the presentation.
So moved.
Motion from Alderman Headley, second Alderman West. Any discussion? Okay. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Okay, agenda is amended. Seeing no proclamations, move on to citizen participation. We ask the citizens step forth. The podium's over there, but I don't know here. Krista might need it. Is Krista gonna need the podium?
Sure.
Okay. While they're moving that, we ask anyone who wishes to address the board, step forward to the podium and microphone, and give your name and address for the record. Anyone wish to address the board this evening? All right, seeing none, we'll move on to the consent agenda.
I move to accept the consent agenda.
I have a motion from Alderman Scully to accept the consent agenda. Do I have a second? Second Alderman West. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. All right, next item is presentations. Under presentations, we have a presentation about social media from Thaw, so I will turn the floor over to her.
There's a pass.
Going down.
Okay. For our purposes, we will just be using the top handout. The other one is for you for light reading later. It'll give you a little bit of a perspective on some trouble that public officials have run into. There's a variety of scenarios in that second stapled story there. So, I got this. Anybody else want? Can I see that? Anybody else want to? All right. So, what we are going to talk about is the best practices for public officials. So, just to put it protect you so that none of you get in any kind of trouble legally, or, I don't know, run into any circumstances that you might avoid when you're on social media. You're strongly encouraged to be on social media. And if you go to, social media benefits, do you see that page? So of course, it's great that you can engage in the American public. It's a great opportunity for you to do that. Get a pulse on the public opinion when it comes to key issues. You can learn issues that may be of concern to your constituents by asking important questions. It's a great messaging tool for a city when it comes to marketing and, getting the city brand really out there. So there's great opportunities in social media, and also for all of you, it's politically advantageous, because it's a great way to relate to people who may be voting for you. So there's great reasons to be on social media. Strongly encouraged, everybody should be. Who has a Facebook account? And do you all have personal accounts, or do you have like pages? Personal, just, you have like a personal Facebook account, and you have friends, right? Okay. You may want to think about having a like page, which is a little bit different, but public officials or people in the public eye can do that. And it's just a little bit, a slightly different arrangement where people go and browse their page, and you can keep your personal Facebook or your personal social media separate. It's something to think about if you haven't split out your personal Facebook from professional Facebook. You may want to think about doing that as well. But it's up to you on that. I'm going to buzz through these really quick. Best practices for posting if you get to that page. It's a great idea to ask questions, make a list of the folks that you want to interact with. That's always encouraged. I get get a read on what they're thinking about a given issue. When you get something from somebody when you post something that you may or may not agree with, or it may seem negative, or maybe criticizing you, just a couple of things to just remember. Thank the citizens for their feedback, thank them for their input, acknowledge and validate the concern and the complaint. Keep cool and think before you post. You don't need to reply right then. Just, it's okay to say, if there's a question, thanks for asking it. I'm not sure about the answer right now, but I'll get right back to you. You don't need to give them an answer right away. You can give them an acknowledgement right away. Take your time, go ahead and email whoever at the city you may need to reach out to, and get the right answer, and then reply. Because you don't want to post with the wrong answer, because when it's out there, it's out there. It's more important that you guys tend to respond quickly. Anything you post, be sure to attribute it if it's, if it's not original content. So, because there can be copyright issues. I already talked about separating public and private social media and the fan page. Respect the city's brand, that's super important. I wanted you guys to know that anything that we post on social media is entered into the public record. So, no matter what you post, that's fair game for the media. Even if you pull it down, if the media sees it, they can take a screen grab, they can take a picture, and they can use that. So, just think about anything you post, the issues you decide to post on, just give it some thought, just because you never know what could happen to it. And the most important thing is it's okay to be criticized, part of being in the public eye, and this is a great way for the public to tell you what they're thinking. And so when you feel that heat, just take a minute, acknowledge it, realize it's part of why you're here, and hopefully social media is more positive than negative for you. But just wanted to run through these tasks with you. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Have any questions?
Yeah, Mayor, going back to like the city website they put out, like our last Christmas event and all that stuff, they put it out there. And a lot of times, you just hit share, move it over to your account. I have two accounts. I have my public account and then my Aldermen account. And, when we hit share and put that on there, you were saying that we need to be careful with using the city's symbol and all that? When
No, that's fine. No, that's
Oh, okay.
fine. No, I was talking about if you maybe are sharing something, a story from before, or retelling maybe a news event or whatever, just be sure you attribute wherever.
Oh, where we get it
wherever
from.
comes from. Yeah, just attribute that.
So like we copy and repost and it's already got the name.
Yeah, it's fine.
So-
And social media, Facebook and Twitter, they have their own parameters for sharing, but that was one of the suggestion.
And I would like to know how, I mean, not now, but if you could write it down or send me an email, how you separate your two accounts on Facebook. I don't know, because I was trying to figure that out here the other day,
Yeah.
because they're both mine are in a lock.
And I have not done that because I'm not an elected public official, so mine is just one big,
Todd,
It's-
okay,
if I had to do it over again, I probably would have done it differently,
right.
but if you're gonna be talking about city business, then the right idea, make you have your own account.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on then, seeing no previous business or new business, move on to ordinances.
Bill B 14-26, first reading, an ordinance amending chapter 130, municipal court of the city of Green Valley, municipal code, article 1 in general, section 130.030, additional court costs, A1 shelters for victims of domestic violence. First reading, Bill B 14-26.
Mayor, I move that we accept Bill 1426 for its first reading and bring it back for its second reading by title only.
I have a motion from Alderman Arnold to approve Bill B 14-26 for its first reading, bring it back by title only for its second reading. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Alderman Johnston. Any discussion?
Mr. Mayor, this is actually just a update to the state statute that increases the fee from $2 to $4. I'll let Mr. Cook speak about it if you have any specific questions, as that's where it came from.
Anyone have any questions about?
This is just to stay consistent with what's done by state statutes.
All right. See, nothing additional. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
6-0 first.
Okay. Seeing no resolutions, move on to the city attorney's reports.
Nothing to report, Your Honor. Thank you.
Move on to the city administrator and staff reports.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, members of the board, I have a few things that I'd like to ask about, or inform you about. First, you know that we have the holidays coming up. I know historically, whenever a holiday falls on a Tuesday or Thursday, that we give consideration of the day before or after off for the staff. This year, Christmas is on a Thursday as well as New Year's Day. Speaking with the mayor about it earlier, we thought that we'd bring it up to the board and find out if you would like to close City Hall the day after Christmas and or the day after New Year's Day. So I'd like to open that up for discussion with you guys. Not everyone at once.
Thoughts?
I tried this over 4th of July, and we didn't get very far with it, but yeah, I think we should. I think our employees should have it.
I think this is a lot different holiday than the 4th of July. I think it's more reasonable on these holidays.
I agree.
4th of July is just a party day. It's not a same type of, I agree with it.
Anyone set against it?
Just as a future reference, what I would like to do is be able to set this in personnel policy. That way we don't have to come up every time this issue happens. So maybe if staff could look at, setting some sort of policy for you guys to look at and approve in the future that says, if Christmas or New Year's Day falls on a Tuesday or Thursday, it would be easier to address rather than having to bring back up to you. But that's for the future. I just wanted to have the discussion tonight.
What would we do about Christmas Eve?
Christmas Eve will...
Stay open till 5, or?
Yes, yeah. We stay open until 5 o'clock on Christmas Eve. We historically have. Now, I know in the past that, especially if it falls right in the middle of the week, I know last year Alexa actually just had a skeleton crew at City Hall after noon, and then the other half of the staff that wasn't able to take the half of Christmas Eve off took New Year's Eve off for half a day. But I don't intend on doing that this year.
So you just want to put a resolution on for next meeting then, for those 2 days?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I don't necessarily agree with it with a Tuesday taking the Mondays off. I think the Mondays are a lot different than the Thursday, Friday.
And that's part of the thing that we can, you know, nail down as we move forward with the policy. Because that's the questions we have to be able to ask, you know. If it's 4th of July, if it's Christmas, if it's New Year's, those are all different holidays. And rather than having to have the discussion every
So
time.
be specific with the policy, you know, if
Yeah.
Christmas falls on a Thursday, then we'll give the 26th off, but
Right.
not, we'll always give the 26th off.
I mean, I'm the only one that said I was opposed to Monday. I mean, you guys
Yeah.
might be fine with it. I think that's a different thing than, you know, the Friday. I think, people, once they've, you know, taken off for Christmas, are not willing, you know, most of them are not willing to go back into the work mode or thing as much on Friday as they are after a weekend and want to come in and get something done on a Monday.
Yeah, I'd see Monday being an extended weekend isn't as favorable as a early extended weekend on a Thursday, Friday versus a Monday, Tuesday, so I'd have to think a little bit more about that.
Yeah, and we can have that discussion, absolutely. But as for now, I'll just go ahead and have a resolution
okay.
prepared for the December, first meeting in December. Also, I just wanted to take a moment, I know that, at the last meeting in October, we actually talked about, city charter procedures, sorry, I'm tongue-tied tonight. I just wanted to pass out this memorandum. It just goes through what the procedure is to set a city charter. It's about, I would say probably about a 2-year-long process. There's elections that are involved. You have to have a charter commission form. If you guys would take a look at it, just read through it over the next week or so. And then at the next meeting, we can have a discussion rather than just handing it to you and expecting questions. So I'll make sure that I follow up with you. And then the only other item that I had for a report is to find out if the board wants to hold the second meeting in December. It should be December 22nd. It is the week of Christmas. Again, completely up to you. Just don't know if you guys are going to be in the mindset of having a city council meeting or a board of aldermen meeting that night. So Mayor and I discussed it, and we thought we'd bring it to you guys.
Anticipate much on the agenda?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't think there'll be much on the agenda. I will offer one caveat to that. We have the budget amendment for 2014. It's something that we always do before year end. That will be coming on the agenda the first meeting of December. If you decide not to have a second meeting in December, then it will have to be a double read that night. Otherwise, that's the only thing that I see being on the agenda that evening.
I'd say we just, wait till the December meeting, the first December meeting, and see if you're gonna have anything, and then decide then. I mean, or some time out.
Well, we will need to know if it's gonna be a double.
Go ahead, I'm sorry, Ron.
The only thing we'll need to know is if you need the budget amendment to be a double read on that.
I mean, we pretty much okayed it anyway.
I don't know if anybody's planning on traveling, but I don't have a problem meeting on that Monday, but
It would be a big help to the people that would like to travel, I guess, to go ahead and know. I mean, I don't have a problem with not having a meeting.
I'm gonna go ahead and put it on for double read that first meeting, and then we can always take it off if we want to, or, you know, second read, and,
Short timer wants to say something.
and then it's,
We're going through the hiring process right now with 2 officers. And where we're at on that phase, that might put us in that first, second week of December before we're done with them. And then we're gonna have to get them sworn in, right?
Well, we can always swear them in the first meeting in January.
Okay.
Well, swearing in, I mean, we can do that administratively in the back room.
We can do that here as a formality and then make
yeah.
it something,
Okay, that's all. I just wanna be able to probably get them going before January.
Yeah, sorry, you have to wait.
let's just plan on not doing it unless something comes up, put the budget amendment on for double read.
Okay.
'Cause who knows, something else may pop up that we need to.
could wait till January to help us out on the budget.
All right, I have nothing else, Mayor.
Okay, does anyone else have anything?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's okay. Start making stuff up. All right, next item then is Board of Aldermen reports and comments. Alderman Arnold?
Just want to commend everybody from what I heard about the holiday lighting ceremony, Mayor. It seemed like it was well attended and everybody enjoyed the evening there. And I hope if we meet tonight and we'll go home here and after this, that we keep in thoughts the people in Ferguson, that everything stays on a level head and we don't have big issues over there, that everything's kept pretty reasonable. And be grateful that we have a good force here and would be up to the challenge that happened here, but be also grateful that it's not here.
Yeah, very much.
So that's all.
Alderman Headley?
I have nothing to report.
Alderman Johnson?
Nothing.
Alderman Scully?
Just the same about the, lighting. I enjoyed helping. Commend everybody that was more involved than me. I just showed up to help that evening, but Shannon doing the shopping, I ran into him, getting cocoa and stuff during the day. Commend everybody. It looked very nice. It went off pretty smooth. It gets bigger and bigger, just like the trick or treat trail, so.
I was in the back of the crowd when they lit the lights, and I thought for a second when we first flipped it, I told the mayor that I thought the lights
We need a
didn't come
stool,
on.
and we're tall enough.
Yeah, and so I guess there was help, but
This is the first time that they never came on, and
I
I
don't
couldn't see though, I didn't
My
realize.
wife had to split, yeah, 'cause I was standing over the mic, and I'm like...
They were
Two
tipping
girls
toe
weren't
on it,
tall enough
trying to
to
get
get
it,
up.
and they get about halfway.
It was a long few seconds.
Yeah,
That candy cane made the leverage on it kinda...
it was a great event, though, yeah, and you're right, everybody kind of came together to do it. We've got administration, and Jamie, Tammy Love, Shannon, his people, Public Works. I mean, it was a good collaborative event.
I
Even
tried
had the
to
Girl
catch
Scouts
the
come and
ones that
help.
I knew and thanked them for it.
Alderman Schaefer?
How many do we, get a rough head count, how many we had? I mean, it was hard for me to tell.
5,000.
About 13,000, 14,000, I think.
In between.
Yeah.
It is
So
tough to
we're
get,
gonna have to do the plaza lighting this year, it sounds like, right?
it's tough to get a head count out there,
I
but
mean,
our
roughly,
estimate was
Yeah,
500 to
it's
1,000.
bigger than light, it was big, I mean, 'cause I can't tell from where I was
Well,
at.
last year was bitterly cold, so it was more than last year.
Seems like it keeps growing every year except for,
Yeah, I think it's one of the biggest turnouts.
Yeah, I think ultimately it does grow every year.
yeah.
It's bigger and good.
Well, I can't top anything anybody else has said, the great job of staff, you guys, every year seem to pull it off. Every event we do seems to get, or you guys, it's just, it gets bigger and bigger. Halloween trails got bigger, you know, the one thing else I would add, tell the guys the wall looks good. I've been out visiting with some of the people in Ward 1, and there's a lot of people happy to see that done, and it's looking good. They're doing a good job.
Very good.
Based on everything else they had going on, trying to get the Christmas tree, the Christmas lighting all put together and everything else, I think they done good fighting the weather.
We'll pass it along.
Thank you.
Alderman West?
Just reiterate what everyone else said, just kudos to the staff. It was a real nice event.
Very good.
A lot of positives from everybody.
Thank you.
Okay. Next up is mayor's report. I have nothing else to add. Next item is executive session. I know we need one for
Legal.
legal only.
Yes, sir, that's it.
Okay. We need executive session for legal issues. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn to executive session. Motion from Alderman Arnold. Do I have a second? Second Alderman Headley. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Alderman Arnold?
Yes.
Alderman West?
Yes.
Alderman Headley?
Yes.
Alderman Scully?
Yep.
Alderman Schaefer?
Yes.
Alderman Johnson? All right, we're adjourned to executive session.